Welcome to Danny's Den, and today we will dive into the issues of the day regarding love, parenting, sports, and/or pop culture. Let's chat.
Picture this. You volunteer to help at your kid's school bake sale. You get there early, and the volunteer coordinator pulls you aside because a background check just popped up with an old charge on it, something you thought was sealed years ago. Your stomach drops. The coordinator looks embarrassed, and for 10 minutes you're explaining a life you thought was closed. That surprise, it happens a lot, and it's the reason we have to untangle what sealing and expungement actually do.
Quick promise, I'll give you clear next steps, what these orders actually hide, how common checks used by schools and volunteer groups behave, short scripts you can use with a new partner or a coach, and a checklist you can run on yourself this week. I'll wrap with a sports metaphor and a music pick. No legalese, just usable moves. Let's get into it. Let's chat.
Quick bottom line. Sealing and expungement are not the same thing.
Sealing usually hides records from public searches, but government bodies and some courts can still see them.
Expungement often means the record is set aside, so most private checks won't show it, but it isn't a blanket eraser. Federal checks and some licensing boards still may see the history. I know. Frustrating, right? Who gets to ask for these orders and what actually disappears varies a lot. Sometimes you qualify after a waiting period. Sometimes you file paperwork, show up in court, and pay fees. Some convictions can't be erased at all. So the practical rule is, don't assume invisible. Read the court order, and if you get surprised by a check, ask the employer or organization for the report they ran.
Dating is where timing and tone matter. You don't have to dump your past on a first date, but you also don't want a late surprise that ruptures trust. Start with values and context, then move to facts if needed.
Try this opener. I want to be honest because I respect you. I have an old charge that I've addressed and learned from. I'm happy to talk about it when you're ready. Short, human, responsible. If children are involved, be a touch more specific. There's something in my past I want you to know because your comfort matters to me. It was X years ago. I completed Y steps to address it, and I can show paperwork if that helps. That tells someone you're owning it, you've acted, and you're willing to be transparent without turning the room into a courtroom.
And a safety note. If a relationship feels unsafe, prioritize your safety plan. You never owe detailed disclosure in a way that puts you at risk. Trust your instincts.
Now, about those volunteer forms, here's what to do first. Checklist you can act on now. 1. Request your criminal record from your state court or state police website. Search your state name, criminal record request.
Run a self-background check through a nationwide vendor, for example, Checker or Good Hire, so you can see the same kind of report employers often get. Check applicable registries, like your state's sex offender site.
4. If something shows, gather the paperwork, your sealing/expungement order, completion certificates, and 2 short character letters that include dates and contact info. And here's a short copy-paste line to ask a school or organization. Hi, can I get a copy of the vendor report you ran and the vendor name? I have documents that may resolve this, and I'd like to share them. Use it. It's specific and non-confrontational. If a school flags something, pause and ask one question. Who did you run the check through? They might say, we used a national vendor.
Okay, ask to see that exact report so you can see whether it's a name match, a dated case, or an error.
Quick, concrete example. Maria sealed a 2012 misdemeanor in 2016, but a school vendor pulled court dockets in 2023 and the charge showed up. She asked for the vendor name, got the report, showed the sealing order and a job letter, and the school cleared her the same day. That's the kind of small, fast fix that keeps kids' events from turning awkward. Family court is trickier. Judges can see different records depending on jurisdiction and the motions filed. If custody is on the line, collect what shows current fitness. Letters from employers with dates and contact info, documentation of stable housing or steady income, records of parenting time, certificates from treatment or counseling, and your sealing or expungement order.
Those items let a lawyer frame the story around present parenting, not just a distant mistake.
Work with a local family law attorney if the stakes are high. They know your state's rules and can help you get the right documents in front of a judge.
A quick sports image to leave you with. Imagine trust as a roster. A player comes back from rehab and the crowd doesn't flip the script overnight. Each steady play, practice, on-time pickups, consistent behavior is like an earned at-bat that rebuilds reputation. In real life, your plays are documented steps and small, predictable acts. Before I sign off, a short music pick that pairs with the theme of second chances. Brian McKnight's Back at One. It's earnest, patient, and it's the kind of track you put on when you're doing the slow work of repair.
Quick recap. 1. Sealing and expungement are not identical and often have limits. 2. Run your own background check so you aren't surprised. 3. Use short, honest disclosure scripts with partners that prioritize safety and context. 4. Collect proof of rehabilitation for parenting or custody situations, and consult a local family law attorney when stakes are high. Rules differ by state, so local advice matters.
If this episode helped, please subscribe to Danny's Den so these practical conversations land in your feed each week. For the sample scripts and the checklist I mentioned, check the show notes or send a direct message through the podcast page, and I'll share a resource sheet you can adapt. Thanks for spending this time with me. Let's chat.
Thanks for listening to Danny's Den. If you have a specific legal issue that you are looking for assistance with, please send me a direct message or visit the Legal Assistance Center website to book a free 30-minute consultation to see if I can help. You can also drop me a comment in the episode notes. Take care.